There we had camp. We're camped down along the little river. Way back in the hills. I think we're about the only ones there. Nobody else in there. That's why getting breakfast next morning. This is the place where Tony and Eric slept in a tent. Put their tents outside the van. The wind was blowing, and Tony woke up in the night hollering. And I guess something was rustling against the side of her tent, and she thought a snake had got in there with her. Here we are, ready to move out. Must be a little cooler that morning. Dee Dee's got her sweater on. The little river run by the camp spot where we're at. Made such a noise. It roared all night long. We hiked back up this canyon, and in a little creek, I think Eric found Tony one found a pet fried oyster in there. Here we're over by Cripple Creek. It's a little sort of a ghost town. They're trying to make it into a tourist attraction, but the price of gold dropped there, so the gold mines weren't operating, so they were taking tourists down. So we went down into the gold mine, took a ride down, and while we were there, they had a rodeo for the locals, I guess. Another little town over, the other side of Cripple Creek. And it used to have a lot of gold mines, and I think his name was Golden Lady or something like that. It was just a regular little old town, but it had been a gold rush town at one time. Out by Colorado Springs to see the Air Force Academy while we were there. It's their big stadium. It's out on the steps of their chapel. It's made out of aluminum. All made out of aluminum. It's supposed to be a wonder or the architect world or something like that. Look real close, you can see Eric and Tony and Jen Spade down there in the right hand corner. This is way back up in the hills there, central Colorado, north of Colorado Springs. That's the public library of Gilpin County. We hiked up that big mountain there in the background. We hiked up the trail. The trail sort of meandered around the hill and went up. We kept hearing something go and run ahead of us, and come across a place that was soft in the dirt, and there was big cat paw prints there. So it was probably a mountain lion that we were disturbing, and he was running up the mountain to get away from us. This is a little old touristy town. It was an old gold rush town, and they turned it into a touristy thing now. It's over west of Denver, about 40 miles, and it's called Central City. And it's just one of those things, it's not touristy, but it was an authentic little old gold town at one time. Got a lot of abandoned gold mines around there. Troops in front of the old train that used to service Central City. It's another shot of Central City, and all the spoil piles back there. That's what comes out of the ground, and they crush the ore, and that's what's left over after they extract the gold. Big piles of stuff like that. There's no abandoned gold mine back in the hills. Hundreds of them around it. It's another scenery shot. Mountains in the background. This is in central Colorado. This is over towards Pikes Peak. Going up the road, that's the road that goes up to Pikes Peak. Another scenery shot there. We are up to Berthoud Pass, 11,000 feet. Here we are heading down toward the Wolf Creek Pass. We're going to continue on out to Mesa Verde. We were going north, but the snow was melting too fast, and there was a lot of high water. Roads were being washed out, so we thought we'd head south, head down toward Mesa Verde, Grand Canyon, come back up. Here's one of the passes. Still, road's clear, but there's a lot of snow still laying around. And this is getting on out toward Mesa Verde now. We're heading back out that way. In the distance there you can see kind of mesas and stuff that like Mesa Verde is. It's a big flat top mesa like that. There's a platform we had for old Dee Dee to ride on. We fixed up and she'd lay up there and the wind would come through the window there and go right out, keep her cool. She soon learned to ride up there. The senior shot off Mesa Verde. There's a scenery shot, sitting up in a rim up in Mesa Verde there. Santa Cristo Mountains in the background back there. Part of the Rockies. This is part of the ruins on top of Mesa Verde. Mesa. Theory is the Anasazi Indians lived up there on the top for years and years and had their city up there, but when the warlike Indians tribes started moving in on moved their stuff over to the sides of the cliffs, and they started their cliff dwellings for safety reasons. The remains of one of their fair-sized cities, I guess. There, they had a lot of stuff built up on the top of this mesa. They had a whole city up there. Other underground things called kivas. They had a top over them. They had some sort of ceremonies down in there. They don't know exactly what they were. There's the Saugeen Indians over there back probably around 200 or 300 years AD, and they lived on top for a long time, and they were there when the Spaniards came through, but they disappeared all of a sudden. Nobody knows what happened to them. I think maybe the drought got them. More old ruins. This area here was developed as like a catchment basin for water. That's where they caught rainwater and stored it for irrigation and drinking. There's the troops down under a big old cliff overhang there. There's the troops, and the areas down to the right is where the Indians moved their towns and their settlements. They moved them into the cracks and the holes in the cliffs. The whole cities down in there and hid them. A lot of cities and hidden towns up that valley there too, up on each side of the cliffs. All kinds of them up there. Only going down into one of the kivas. They stored there, they had one. There was a typical cliff dwelling. Whole villages or old towns stuck back up under a big cliff. There's another one. There's right in front of one of the old ruins.